Hi students, this is Dr. M. Suresh Babu, Assistant Professor of English, Department of Basic Sciences and Humanities, BVRIT, Narsapur, Hyderabad. Today, we are going to talk about essay writing. I am sure many of you might have written some of the essays somewhere at your previous studies. Probably you might have known that what are the parameters that you have to keep in mind when you write an essay. By the way, what do you mean by essay? How do you define an essay? So, I would like to start with a beautiful quote which I like most when I think about writing. Reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. This is a famous quote written by Francis Bacon in his Off Studies. What he meant by writing this kind of quote is that whenever you read, you explore a lot, and reading helps you to nurture yourself. It also helps you to improve your communication and also the kind of critical thinking and imagination as well. If you look at the conference, he says it's a kind of dialogue or a debate. Whenever you read extensively, you will be ready for a kind of discussion or a dialogue. Therefore, you are a ready man for a kind of discussion or a debate, whatever the topic or a thing that is given to you. And if you look at the third one, writing an exact man, all the time you may not be able to remember whatever you have read, whatever you have discussed. Therefore, there is a kind of record in the form of a writing, right? So, he means writing is a kind of, activity where we enhance ourselves whenever we want to record for a future use, right? So, if I go into the details of why we have to study, why written communication is important when it comes to essay writing, first we would like to see what is the importance of writing in general and how writing an essay is significant as a student as I am pursuing my BTech at BVRIT or any other places. So, when I ask the students in my classes, I just say like this: what is the easiest skill out of these 4 language skills like listening, speaking, reading and writing? Most probably students would say that listening is easy, because all the time they might listen to some songs, they may listen something which is not of exactly the English or a kind of academic English. So, I would get a number of responses saying, they say listening is easy, and sometimes a few say reading is easy, because most of the time they are habituated to read a text as part of reading comprehension when it comes to their academic life or academic career as a student. So, a few say a less number of students say that writing, I think that's not a comfortable activity for them. It's not a comfortable domain for them to say that, as they say, listening is easy. So, why, if you look at why written communication is important, you can see a few things that I have listed here in this slide. It helps you getting a job in later life, because most of the students would like to improve their language and communication skills in order to get through in their job attempts or in job interviews. That is the most important aspect that most of the students think: if I am good at English, if I am good at communicating with others, surely he or she may have an edge in terms of getting selected in the interviews or whatever the communication that happens in their day-to-day life and also in their academic career. So one aspect is a job purpose. If you look at the other one, they can also improve language skills. They can improve communication skills. Communication is a part of, it's a significant factor where it involves in their day-to-day academic career, in their day-to-day campus life. They have to communicate in different situations, in different contexts. Therefore, it helps you to improve your communication skills. And written communication also improves yourself while connecting with others, and also increasing your knowledge and creativity and imagination. So it not only improves your knowledge when you are good at communicating with others, it also increases your level of creativity and imagination as well. Now, what's an essay? I'm sure you may be agreeing with this definition given by Cambridge Dictionary, and any other definition. If you look at any kind of dictionary, they are similar, expressing the same way. It's a short piece of writing on a particular subject, especially one done by a student as part of his academic course. So it's a particular kind of subject. It's a kind of subject that he or she does all the time as part of their course. So now look at different types of essays. And broadly, if you look at the types of essays, there are 4 types of essays. One is descriptive essay, second one is narrative essay, third one is expository essay, and fourth one is argumentative essay. Now we will see what these kind of these types of essays in a separate discussion separately. So what do you mean by descriptive essay? If you look at the word itself, descriptive, it shows that it is a description of something, be it a description of a place, description of a person, or maybe a description of an object. You can have a lot of examples here. If I ask you to describe your lab class, it can be a part of a descriptive essay. If I ask you to narrate your, to describe about your village or a place you belong, it can be considered as a descriptive essay. Or a place that you have visited recently can also be a descriptive essay. So it is about description of something. Therefore, the kind of language that you use always in a manner where description goes on, a description lies. Now the first one is narrative essay. So narrative essay is another type of essay where it talks about a story, it talks about an incident throughout the essay. If you are talking about a story, it may be starting from topic sentence to the ending. It talks about the story line or an incident from the beginning to the end. And it also focuses more on personal experiences that you have or you had, and also leading to a kind of imagination or imaginative exploration of something you have been thinking about or you might have experienced. So when we talk about narrative essays, they always aimed at involve the reader's attention as if they were there in that particular kind of narration or an incident. So it is of more personal and imaginative than that of a kind of basing on other kind of other types of essays that rely on facts or maybe statistics. So if you look at the other type of essay, it is an expository essay which provides a clear, focused example of a topic. It doesn't require an original argument, but a kind of balanced, well-organized view of the topic. Whatever the topic you can take, you need not have any kind of personal, emotional kind of information that you have to put in that. It is purely a kind of focused explanation on an original argument. No scope for the writer's feelings or emotions in this kind of essay. It is completely based on the facts and the statistics. Therefore, if you look at the example, for example, I have given this thing, COVID-19 and its impact on education. So this is purely, you can have different kind of experience of having this kind of COVID-19, but you will have to see what kind of impact that is there on education. You will have to find out some facts, statistics, and you will have to get a lot of information from other sources. And if you look at the topic like healthy eating, so what kind of eating, whether it is good or bad, this can also be a kind of topic that talks about, that refers expository essay. And the last one is argumentative essay. Argumentative essay refers to the kind of an argument, and the writer is always asking or taking the reader to his mode of, to his own point of view, to agree with him or with her. So it's not just a representation of facts, but an attempt to convince the reader of the writer's point of view. If you look at the kind of examples that are given here, should cell phones be banned from vehicles? So here I might have a different opinion, different opinion about whether the cell phone should be banned from vehicles. I am trying to say that the readers should always with me, they should agree with me, they should go along with me. Such a way I have to impress them, or such a way I have to convince them that they should agree with me. So in that way, argumentative essay relies on the kind of writer's point of view or writer's viewpoint. The other example that I have cited is, has the internet made society better? Sometimes students might have a different opinion about whether the cell phones, whether the use of social media or internet might be positive for their case, and maybe sometimes they may say, but it is a good, sometimes it is a bad. So they may have a different, the kind of partial opinion, partially they may agree or partially they may disagree. Therefore, they might have their own point of view, and these kind of essays would be relying on the kind of argument where the writer always takes his point, takes the points and make the reader to agree with him or to understand what else he believes or he or she believes. And the last type of essay is argumentative essay. So this is the one type of an essay which focuses on the writer's viewpoint, the writer's argument. It's not just a presentation of the facts, but an attempt to convince the reader of the writer's point of view. So if we look at the examples that are cited here, should cell phones be banned from vehicles? Sometimes people may agree, may disagree with the kind of topic that is given, but as a writer, you will have to get the attention of the reader, and they should agree with you, whatever you believe. So that is how the argument lies. If you look at the other example, as the internet made society better, sometimes you may go with yes, sometimes you may say no. So you will have to give a kind of reason for your argument and make the audience believe, make the readers believe that your argument is fine and they should also agree with you. Now, so what are the components of a good essay? If you look at a good essay, what it contains, obviously you might have seen, you might have written many essays or maybe a short paragraph on a given topic. Even for a short paragraph or an essay, it should be the common format, that it should have a proper introduction and continuation of thought, continuation of your ideas, how those ideas are continued in the middle, or at the end, how you can conclude, how you can summarize the kind of essay or maybe a small paragraph that you may write. Now look at each component separately. Now look at the introduction part. So most of the cases, as I have seen from various students, that they don't know how to start a kind of essay or a paragraph. So beginning is a very, introduction is a very biggest problem for them, how to start, and even if they start, how they can continue the kind of thoughts that they have kept in their minds. So introduction should, like, it's an attention grabber. So whatever when we look at any news in newspapers or any magazines, if you read something, maybe we may be looking at the catchy title or a catchy caption. Therefore, we feel that, okay, I want to read this, because we feel that, okay, that introduction, that the kind of title may be attractive, may be catchy. Therefore, I may be interested to read, even if it is not relevant to me, even if it is not the subject that I have been studying, but somewhere the kind of interaction, or maybe that may be interesting. Therefore, whenever you write an essay, you have to focus the attention, you have to maintain that kind of attention. Therefore, when somebody starts reading, he or she should continue to read. That kind of curiosity or maybe interest is created through a kind of a good introduction, and ensure that introduction moves from general to specific. If you look at whether cell phones be banned in the college campuses, if we take this as an example, you can say how you generalize the things in the beginning, and then how you make it more specific, providing more examples. So it should be general to specific, and also it provides the reader with a roadmap of the essay in a logical order. So this is very important. We can say it, in other words, we can say coherence. How this introduction starts, the first line, whether it is connected with the second line, whether the second line is in relation with the third line, or maybe the last line. So there must be a kind of logical order when you write a kind of introduction. And thesis statement is the most important component of any kind of introduction. So introduction should have a kind of topic sentence, or in other words, a thesis statement, which may lead to the other paragraphs as well in your essay. So that it should be a roadmap. Your essay should be a kind of roadmap, and then it should be arranged logically. Therefore, when the reader reads, he or she can understand very easily. It also states the aim of the paper, and also it may give insight into the author's examples. So when you are giving a kind of one or two examples in the beginning, in the introduction itself, it is easy for them to understand the kind of essay you are writing, and through your introduction. Then what is how does it look like in the body of the essay? So body of the essay includes the evidence and support of the essay. Whatever you have stated in the beginning, in the introduction part, it should be supported, it should be authenticated by providing examples, right? So therefore, it is a continuation of your introduction. So it should be like a kind of support or evidence to the kind of essay you are writing. Paragraphs must include a topic sentence which relates the discussion back to the thesis statement. So you have to divide, probably you can divide the essay into 4 or 5 paragraphs. Therefore, each paragraph should be arranged logically and should have a topic sentence. And how this kind of logical ordering can be done, you can see here. So it should be of 3 kind of your ideas may be arranged in 3 types. The one is logical order, that is logical order of your ideas. One is chronological order, second one is spatial order, third one is emphatic order. So if you look at the first one, chronological order, order of time, good for narratives. When it comes to narrative essays, it is good for, because you can write your essay chronologically from year to year and from time to time. Therefore, it is most suitable for the kind of essays you are writing for narrative essays. And spatial order is good for description of locations, top to bottom. So when we are asked to describe a kind of place, that is more, this kind of spatial order is more comfortable, more suitable for this kind of narration. And the third one is emphatic order. This is the least important to the most important, most common for all college writing kind of thing. Now, ensure that your body should have a kind of transition sentences. transition words which are very, very important to understand the writer, where you have started, how it is going, and what would be the end of your essay. Therefore, the transition words, in other words, we can say conjunctions. So these are very important to connect your ideas from one paragraph to the other paragraph. Even in a paragraph also, you have to have a kind of transition sentences. And your body should include substantial examples and evidence to support your argument. Remember to cite. So wherever you provide, you cite something, you will have to have a kind of citation. You have to cite where you have taken this information. Otherwise, it will become, it is like a plagiarized text. Therefore, that is not possible. It may be penalized. Therefore, when you cite something, when you take examples, whatever be the source you have used, you have to cite them properly, so that there won't be any kind of plagiarized issues in terms of providing content. Make sure each example is relevant to your particular topic. So whatever topic is given that you're writing, so whatever the examples or a kind of evidence you're providing, they must relate to the topic you are writing. So when it comes to concluding an essay, you will have to wrap up all of your arguments and points that you have made in the essay. And it should also restate the main arguments, main discussion that you have made in a simplified manner in the conclusion part. Ensure that the reader is left with something to think about, particularly if it is an argumentative essay, because argumentative essay is an essay where argument lies with the writer's point of view. Therefore, those kind of when those kind of essays are given, essays you are writing, you will have to give a scope for the reader to think about what is it about. Therefore, it impacts you a lot. So in a nutshell, we have talked about, in this class we have talked about what's an essay, what are the types of essays, and what are the components of an essay, and how you should properly write different types of essays in your academic writing. With this I conclude. Thank you all.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.